Consul General in San Francisco, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you today at the French residence for this ceremony. This week is a very important week for us because it is the week of Bastille Day. July the 14th will be this Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad that we start the festivities with this ceremony. Because on Bastille Day, we celebrate our nation and we celebrate our independence. We would not be independent today without what the United States did during the Second World War. And we would not be independent today without the act of courage and bravery of the three heroes that we are honoring today. It is a decision of the French president to bestow every American living veteran of the Second World War with our highest distinction, the Legion of Honor. It's my great pleasure and my great honor as French Consul General to hold this award to you today. But I don't do it alone. Today we have our elected officials. We have Jean-Claude Zambelli, we have Serge Morel. These people are elected by the French nationals living in Northern California and the Pacific Northwest. And today we have our Honorary Consul Guy Michelier, who is the Honorary Consul for Sacramento, and you come, for some of you, close to this place. And Sophie Souberville has just arrived, another elected official. So it's all together that we are very glad to receive you today at the French residence and honor you. Dear veterans, Jack Ferris, David Gann, and Stanley Kuehl, it is a great honor for me and my team to meet you today and bring you a well-deserved recognition for what you've done for France during the Second World War. As young men, you left your home and family to fight and liberate not only France, but the whole European continent, defend democracy and human rights. By serving your country, you saved my country. Your accomplishment during the war is a vibrant reminder of the profound friendship between France and the United States, a friendship bound in blood and hardships ever since the War of Independence. From the glorious days of Yorktown to the grim battlefields of Château-Thierry, from the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of Afghanistan and Syria, our countries have been fighting together, side by side, for more than 200 years. Freedom is a gift that does not come for free. It requires courage and bravery. Those two qualities are precisely why Napoleon created the award of the Legion of Honor in 1802. Your courage and your bravery are the reason why the President of the French Republic decided to award you the highest French recognition. The French people will never forget that you helped restore their freedom with your bravery and determination. You are an example of the greatest generation. You faced the despair and deprivation of the Great Depression, and then you went on to fight for liberty and freedom. You rebuilt Europe and invented a free, more democratic world after the war. You remind us that no matter how great the challenge is, it can be won when honest men and women stand up with values and courage. You are truly an inspiration to all of us and to the younger generations. General Eisenhower told you, "The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you." You did your duty. You said to Eisenhower, "You can count on us." And you saved France and Europe from hell. You saved people you didn't even know. You were 19, 21, and 22 when you enlisted in the US forces. Staff Sergeant David Gann, you landed on Utah Beach in Normandy on D-Day, June 6, 1944. You were followed by Staff Sergeant Stanley Kekuli, who crossed the English Channel in the following month, joined landed crafts to the shores of France at Utah Beach, and then went to Cherbourg, where your battalion set up a hospital, the first US General Hospital on French soil after D-Day. And Captain Jack Ferris, you fought in Italy, Germany, Austria, Yugoslavia, and France. You went sent to southern France, to Provence, in September 1944, and from there, you contributed to the liberation of my country. Dear Jack, David, and Stanley, I am here today to tell you that the people of France have not forgotten. Their children and grandchildren have not forgotten, and France will never forget. Today we also honor the memory of your comrades who made the ultimate sacrifice. We remember their courage and their devotion in the face of adversity. And we remember that there is an unbreakable link in the long chain of friendship between our two countries. We, the French people, know exactly what we owe to the American people, to the US Army, to the US Navy, to the US Air Force, to the US Marines, to the US Coast Guard, and to the men and women who spent days and nights in American factories and shipyards to build the most powerful military force in history, an armada for liberty. We know exactly what we owe to you personally. So on behalf of the French Parliament and the people of France, I would like to tell you very sincerely and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Merci. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your heroism. Thank you for your sacrifices. Long live the United States of America, and long live the French-American friendship. Thank you.
John Ferris enlisted in the U.S. Army Corps on September 1st, 1942, and was classified for navigator training at Pan American Airways Navigation School in Florida. In July of 1944, he was assigned to a B-24 probe and deployed to Italy to join the 15th Air Force, 484th Bomb Group, and 824th Bomb Squadron. Combat missions were flown to Italy, Germany, Yugoslavia, and Austria. In September of 1944, John was sent to southern France to support flight missions, and he contributed to the liberation of France. After the war was over, Captain John Ferris returned stateside and was discharged. He got married, had 4 daughters, 8 grandchildren, and 1 great-granddaughter. Today, he lives in Rockaway Beach, Oregon.
Would you like to stand up? Captain John Ferris, au nom du président de la République, nous vous remettons les insignes de chevalier dans l'ordre de la Légion d'honneur. Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome to say a few words if you wish.
Thank you very much, sir. I accept this honor as a representative of my crew and all of the gentlemen of the 484th Bomb Group who had the privilege of flying in France and assisting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant David Charles Gann, who was born on September 26, 1925 in Nevada City, California. During the war, while in high school, David Gann was employed at McClellan Air Force Base in Sacramento. He was assigned as a guide and escorted visitors throughout the Air Force Base. His role was to check identifications and to keep a lookout for suspicious behavior. David volunteered while still in high school and was inducted into the Army on October of 1943, where he had basic training and infantry training. On June 6, 1944, known as D-Day, Staff Sergeant David Gann landed on Utah Beach in Normandy to fight alongside the French Army and the Allies to defeat the enemy. A few years later, in 1989, Mr. Gann went back to France to visit Utah Beach landing. During his visit, he was awarded an honorary citizenship for the town of Sainte-Marie-du-Mont.
Staff Sergeant David Gann, au nom du président de la République, nous vous remettons les insignes de chevalier dans l'ordre de la Légion d'honneur. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm deeply honored by this. I didn't expect this at all, because I'll receive it for all my buddies, people who were killed in action, and also who lived the rest of their life. And I want to thank you all for your generosity.
Thank you for your bravery.
Staff Sergeant Stalin Kekuli was born in Sacramento, California on October 12, 1990. Stalin Kekuli entered the Army in 1941 and then went to England. From there, he crossed the English Channel by ship and then joined landing crafts to the shores of France at Utah Beach in Normandy on July 28, 1944. From there, Stalin went to Cherbourg, where his battalion set up a hospital which was used before by the Germans during their occupation. It was originally a French naval hospital. This was the first U.S. general hospital on French soil after D-Day, treating thousands of patients, mostly surgical cases. As a corpsman in the medical department, Stanley was assigned as a scrub and circulating nurse in the operating theaters, assisting the operating surgeons. As the war progressed, Staff Sergeant Stanley Kekuli left Cherbourg, France on October 29, 1944, and went by rail to Liège, Belgium, where he helped to set up a 2,000-bed tented hospital. Stanley Kekuli finished his military service at the Presidio here in San Francisco as a sergeant major after 21 years of service. Stanley married in 1939. He had 6 children and 5 grandchildren. Today, he lives in Marysville, California.
Au nom du président de la République, nous vous remettons les insignes de chevalier dans l'ordre de la Légion d'honneur. Bravo.
I just want to say that it was great honor and humility that I accept this distinguished Medal of Honor for the French people of France. My appreciation and thanks to you for all that you've done for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.